Mr. Jaime Camil.
Oh, no, keep the reverb. I like the reverb. The echo sounds sexy.
Echo. Hermano, thank you for being here.
Roberto, what's up, man?
How was Sunday's ride?
Sere.
Said it.
What?
How was Sunday's ride, huh?
Sunday was amazing.
Wasn't it a good one?
It was very good. It is because we have decided to embrace the live wires thing.
The live wire experience, yes, in Malibu.
It's in Malibu, and we have decided as riders to give in to the electric motorcycle and to the live wire thing.
Community, yeah,
exactly, and it's super fun. It's a well balanced machine. It charges so fast that it doesn't bother me. You know, the charging. Are
you charging at home?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, nice. So you have a faster charger?
No, because it doesn't work like that.
No hace falta.
No, it doesn't work like that. The live wire motorcycles, they have only two options of charging: either the 120 volt normal one or the Type 3 charging, the supercharger.
Got it.
They don't have, because the bike is so small, they cannot put the components needed to have charging 1, 2, and 3. Type 1, 2, and 3. The Type 2 is the one that I have home, which is a 240 volt.
Got it.
Which charges a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But
what's your charge time on that one? Like
No. You either charge one. This is the problem that Ewan McGregor and Charlie Boorman had when they did the Long Way Up series.
Right.
That was the problem. It was 120 or a fast charger.
Right.
And that's it. So,
but the fast charger, I'm just trying to compare. So a fast charger is what, 45 minutes or something, or?
Oh well, no. When we went to the LiveWire center in Malibu, we had what, like 60% left?
Yeah.
Less than 60% left.
Yeah.
And it charged in 27 minutes.
27 minutes. So 40% in 27 minutes.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the same as a car would charge, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Well, the car...
An hour.
It depends on what charger.
It depends on what charger.
Right,
but if you have the supercharger with a car, then it'll charge at least 80% at 1 hour. If you're really low, it'll charge at least 80% in an hour.
Yeah, because in the building, I'll charge the car. It takes like 8-9 hours.
But you have the 240 volt.
But probably.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And you're never empty.
Never.
The thing is that you never arrive with, you have 1 mile left. No, it's like you always have
No.
a decent amount.
No, it makes sense. It's in my lifestyle. I appreciate it. But like if you look for superchargers in the valley, in Studio City, no se encuentra. You don't see anything.
The one I told you, remember? The one that I showed you?
But that's not a supercharger. I'm talking about for the Tesla.
Oh, that's just a fast charger.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. You mean like the Tesla fancy ones?
Yeah, the supercharger.
Oh.
Because that will do like 45 minutes. Lo hace todo, like...
Really?
Like when you go to Vegas and you stop halfway, you go to a supercharger Tesla station within 45 minutes.
Well, you're fancy because I don't have... Well, I used to have Teslas, but now I have a Polestar.
Yeah. So that looks fucking sick too.
It's amazing. It's really nice. I like it.
¿Por qué cambiaste de uno al otro?
I don't know. I don't know. I had the Model S. Then I had the Model 3. Then for some reason, I went to the Audi e-tron, which is shit.
Is it?
It is, yeah. I'm going to tell you what I think.
But is it more luxurious?
But it doesn't work. The thing is this. Car manufacturers, they're like, hey, guys, to their normal clients. Hey, guys, we are getting into the electric vehicle thingy. We're like, oh, great, wonderful. But please don't be scared. We're going to make it look exactly the same as a gas vehicle with the 80 extra buttons you never push inside of the cockpit. We're going to put that in. And so you don't get shocked. And this is what I love about Polestar and Tesla, which is we are a tech company. We're a tech company. And this is the future of cars.
Yeah.
And this is the future of electric driving. Whether you like it or not, this is it. So the other car, the Porsche, I drove the Porsche Taycan for a little bit, and still, range, it was ridiculous. No, 180 miles, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Right? 180 miles?
No se hace
I mean,
nada.
the wheelbase is long enough for you to stack more batteries if you need to, right? And it was, again, the same car. I want to look like a normal car. I don't want to scare you guys. You're still going to be driving a car that is kind of like a combustion vehicle, but not. But it's electric.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look electric. So don't get, so you, my usual client, don't get scared.
Right.
Why? Right?
Yeah. It's but that's back to the lo sencillo de the Porsche and the Audi. They're converting into electric vehicles.
Exactly.
Where these other companies are building around.
Es que Tesla
they're building from the ground up.
Tesla is light years ahead. of the electric vehicle market, obviously. And
it's just crazy how many there is in LA.
Yeah.
I have people visit
what's
LA.
a year that we're going to have to go 2035?
2035.
That's crazy.
And now I think it's federal and California.
Shit. And how about, have you heard the thing about that? I've heard something that to mine, to get lithium.
Yeah. It's more pollution. Supposedly. Rumor has it that it pollutes more for the mining of those batteries, of the minerals that they get, than
oil.
The máquinas, the machinery, than gas or oil, etc. That's what they say. But then I've heard Elon try to fight that and say, it's not quite that way. There's other ways of getting...
Well, and of course, big oil is going to...
talk shit.
Is going to
talk shit.
Their narrative out there, right? To defend whatever they're doing. I don't know.
Of course. Now... Back to the Livewire and motorcycles. You have a few motorcycles. You've been riding for a long time.
I want to be awake for a month.
Fácil, ¿no?
Sí,
pero de hecho.
Cafecito
no, por eso yo dije, coño, una hora. Bro, va a pasar aquí rapidito 2-3 horas con ese café.
Obvio.
When did you get around? ¿Cuándo, ¿En qué momento te dedicaste a motos? Or you started riding motorcycles?
Always.
And you had a show in Mexico.
Yeah, well, we, inspired by Long Way Down and Long Way Round from Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman, me and my friend Javier Poza, we ride a lot in Mexico, and a bunch of other guys and singers like Eric Rubin. Eric was in the band Timbiriche. Jay de la Cueva, who's in the band Moderato. Other actors like Sebastián Rulli, Juan Soler. Like, we had a motorcycle
gang
group. Yeah, called... Escuadrón 51. And we rode a lot. We rode
Squadron 51.
Yeah. But it comes, I believe it was, I don't remember, but I believe it was because in 1951 was the first year that A Toda Máquina movie came out with Pedro Infante and Jorge Negrete, I think. But my dad used to ride. He used to have the amazing... Remember the Honda, the 750? The CB, whatever it was?
The
old big one.
The 70s.
It had a fucking huge engine, right? And then And then he had a Suzuki that I almost killed myself. I stole it from him when I was super young.
How old were you?
I don't remember. Yeah. But I remember the Suzuki was a Suzuki with a big headlamp. That's the only thing I remember. It had a huge headlamp in the front. It wasn't the Katana or anything. It was just a huge headlamp. Y le metí y casi me caigo. I almost fell down.
Esa fue la primera vez que te montaste en una
No, me había montado antes, pero dije, ya puedo manejar esta, pero tenía tanto power que dije, madre de Dios, me sacó un pedo. No, o sea, me espantó 3 días seguidos. For 3 days I was very scared.
¿Y tu papá se enteró o lo tenías que esconder?
Claro que no.
You had to hide it.
Of course, the security guards in his house were like, please, I'm going to take this, I'm going to steal this car, I'm going to steal this motorcycle, don't say anything. And then he had the BMW, the first big BMW that would be like the RT or what the 1600 is now for BMW.
Yeah, the K.
The Touring, the K, exactly.
Yeah.
He had a K BMW, so I rode with him a lot. And then we had a house in Valle de Bravo, which is like, I don't know, Ojai or something, like a very like foresty kind of like place. And we had a lot of the dumb buggies, and we had the Fat Cats. You know, remember the Honda, the Fat Cat?
Yeah, of course.
And we had the Las Cuatrimotos, the ATV
the
vehicles, the quads. I've been riding some 5.
In Mexico...
I had a Motopony. Remember the Motopony?
No.
No mames, la Motopony era una joya. La Motopony era de... Chingas era la marca de Motopony. I don't remember the brand.
No lo he escuchado, no.
Shit. Hijo, you have to Google this. So I had a Motopony.
Okay.
Yo tenía una Motopony.
Cuéntame, yo lo busco.
Pues era una chiquitita, una moto súper chiquita, maybe 25, 50 cc's or maybe 50, no more than 50 cc's.
Hay una canción que se llama Motopony.
Pues viene de esa moto. I'm sure it comes from that motorcycle.
En México mucha gente monta las motos, ¿no?
Sí.
Es popular.
Es muy popular. Pero también en México, por ejemplo.
Especialmente dirt bikes y cosas así, ¿no?
Sí, más o menos. Pero nuestro grupo, por ejemplo, que salíamos, era absurdo porque we went from Harleys to BMWs, like we had all brands of motorcycles. And whatever the brand was trendy at the moment, esa madre, claro, la Motopony, a huevo. Carabela, that was the brand. Carabela Motopony, yes.
Carabela.
Sí. Whatever, we were very into Harley Davidson at some point. We loved Harley Davidsons, and we all had the Harleys and whatever. And then we jumped to the BMWs, to the GS.
Yeah.
Gelaste Stratse. What's GS stands for? You know this, right?
Yeah.
Which means street and dirt.
Galligan
whatever.
Something German.
Exactly. But it was for looks, honestly. Like we all had the Rally 2 Pro suit.
The BMW was all for looks?
Everything, the whole thing. Because the motorcycle has so much capabilities, and we all got dressed up with the Rally 2 suit and whatever, and we went out, and but it's like,
Es un teatro.
and at one point I told my guys, I'm like, dudes, we are using 10% of this bike's capabilities.
Yeah.
So I put together a trip. I went to South Africa with my friends. I got 10 friends, and I put together this trip, and we went to South Africa, and we really hit the dirt roads and whatever. But still,
on your own, you guys took like a training course.
No, you have a tour.
A tour.
So you go there, and you have the tour guide, which was a complete fucking asshole, so irresponsible. He was hitting the dirt roads at 120 kilometers per hour. To make a long story short, at the end of the ride, a friend of mine almost lost his leg. He had a horrible accident, and it was terrible. And every single day I told him, dude, guys, we're in South Africa. We're in the African continent. Yeah. It's a beautiful place, but it has limitations, just like in Mexico, and just like
hospitals.
No hospitals,
are
exactly.
Further out. Yeah.
And I think le están rascando el huevo al tigre.
Claro.
You're really pushing your limit.
Yeah.
Y cuando le rascas el huevo al tigre, el tigre strikes back.
Yeah.
So please, no.
Yeah.
So we have 4 crazy drivers going like, ya sabes, toe to toe with the guide, which I fucking hate the guy, because he should have set the limit.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not having.
He should be the role model.
Of course, he should be a role model, and I don't want anyone to die on my watch.
Yeah.
He couldn't care less. And sure enough, we had the accident that we were all waiting for it to happen.
And his leg almost.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy because he was going in South Africa. They ride like in England, right? Like the other side of the
wrong side.
They would say they ride on the right side, right? They would drive on the right side.
That right side is the wrong side. Well, they ride on the left side.
On the on the
we
left
ride
side.
on the right.
On the right side, they left on the exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens? A friend of mine is taking this turn in a dirt road. The classic in South Africa, they have a lot of dirt roads that are like they're prepared for you to put the asphalt.
Yeah.
So they're pretty. But still, it's a dirt road.
They're
right?
sticky, but yeah.
But
they're covered. Road. They're covered in dirt.
Exactly. So he's going to the right. A RAV4 is coming on the left side of the thing, and of course, for us to get our instinct to get out of the way is to continue to go right.
Right.
For them, their instinct is to continue to go left. So when they both were trying to avoid each other, they ran into each other. The boxer engine of the GS, the right boxer, ya ves que le sale al boxer,
sí.
Boom, le pegó a su shin.
Wow.
No. It was
un desmadre.
Al final nos dijeron, after 2 days, look at, and of course, God.
¿Y estaban cerca de un hospital?
God or the universe works in very mysterious ways. We were in a town called Hermanos, where every single medical intern, does the internship there. So it's a town with most doctors. Wild. And at the time of the accident, 5 minutes after that, an ambulance was driving by with a nurse or a doctor that stabilized my friend. And we went to Hermanos and whatever. And 2 days after that, the doctors called and said, now I can tell you that your friend is not going to lose his leg. Now, after 2 days of working on him.
Wow. I got goosebumps because I just had somebody recently in South Africa, had an accident. And they were in that same town. Hermanos.
Holy shit.
And the fucking hospital was there. That's why I'm like,
wow, no shit.
Bro,
that's crazy, man.
Crazy, man.
That's fucking
Because I heard outside of that, there's like no hospitals.
No.
You're fucked.
If you're going to have an accident, better be in Hermanos. It's like,
fuck. So then you
crazy.
continued the motorcycle, and then you did the TV show, which you were inspired by The Long Way Down.
Exactly, definitely. We did that. But all the time, man, I'm always riding, going on my motorcycle to the network to shoot my shows in Mexico. I'm riding a lot. I ride a lot. A lot with my wife. Now my wife, when she became a mom, she was like, I don't like, not that I'm crazy, because I'm very, very responsible when I ride.
I've seen you. You've told me. We're in groups. You're like, hey, let's pull out. Like, this is uncomfortable.
This is uncomfortable. And we have nothing to prove.
Nothing, yeah.
Nothing. And this is what I don't like about a friend of mine, for example, my dear friend. I'm going to throw him under the bus. Sorry, Javier. I have to say it. But Javi, it's like he likes to ride that way. He gets, ¿cómo se dice? Tailgate, when you get really close to that.
Tailgate.
He tailgates cars. Like, and I'm like, dude.
Javi, what the fuck are you doing,
The only thing the car needs to do is like, step on the brake.
Yeah.
That's the only thing the car needs to do, because he lost either to be an asshole or because he dropped his phone or her phone. And
Claro.
he accidentally, the driver, sets his foot on the brake and you go fucking flying over it.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's on a motorcycle, we have to understand that we are the body of the vehicle. We don't have a body to protect us. We are the body of the vehicle. And having an accident, it could be a matter of life or death. So it's so simple. That's why also here in Los Angeles, as you know, we can split lanes. We can do the lane splitting, but still, these drivers, because there are a lot of assholes out there on motorcycles. Let's just say it, right?
Yeah, of course.
But and they go and then they hit the side view mirror because they're supposed to move. It's like, dude, okay, maybe they're assholes, but maybe they're.
We saw it this Sunday.
Yeah. We saw it this Sunday. The guy flicking and going like that. It's like, dude.
Pero lo caga para las otras motos que
Para las
están atrás,
otras motos, claro. Porque the only thing they have to do, the drivers is go like, go to the left, or to the right. And you fucking die. I mean, or get up into a horrible, horrible accident where you can fucking break your legs. Like, it's like, yeah. Don't drive like that.
And this is why I've said it so many times on the podcast. I believe 95% of motorcycle accidents is right or error. 95.
100%.
It's la gente. 100%, 95%. it's right.
You're right. I agree.
But 100%, because I always tell people, ride aggressive as fuck. Ride aggressive. You need to ride aggressive. Okay, and aggressive means you see a car, get out of the way. If you're gonna split the lanes, get out of there.
I would call that defensive.
Well, aggressive, defensive,
non-aggressive.
right?
I'll.
Well, defensive. Defense is nicer. You're right.
Yeah, porque mira, aggressive means. ¿Sabes?
Claro. No. You're right.
In Mexico, we drive. In Mexico, everybody wants to kill you. Not on purpose. I mean, yes, on purpose, but like in Mexico, you get a green wave, and here in the U.S., because everybody assumes that everybody follows the rules.
What's a green wave?
Like a green wave of stoplights. Green. My son calls that the green wave. So I like
it.
I love you.
Trademark. I
love you, Jaime. Okay, so so when you get a green wave of stoplights, of green lights, here you go like, well, it's the law that everybody needs to stop, or they're supposed to stop on every red light.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go for it, and they go in Mexico. You get a green wave, and you have to every single corner, because everybody runs the fucking red light.
Yeah.
You have to stop in every corner.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you die.
Yeah.
I drive like this. I always think that when I'm lane splitting, I never go over 40 miles per hour. And that's going, look at what the guy told us on Sunday. At 60 miles per hour, half a second of reaction is 40 feet. 40 feet. Whenever I see crazy guys splitting lanes at 60, 70, I get out of the way. I'm like, oh, don't worry, boom. And then I get back. And I never take my 2 fingers off. I always have that 2% braking in the thing. Because, as you know, again, no, but drivers are supposed to treat double yellow lines as they were walls.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's what the book says.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're going to do it. And I've been in a position many times.
Now.
Exactly. I've been in a position many times where people just jump just fucking jump. They get out of the HOV because they want to get out of it.
Yeah, or
they don't even. And now, have you seen the new trend? They don't use turning signals. The fuck is wrong with that? Like they know they have.
What are turn signals?
Pinche Roberto. Por eso nos matan.
Por eso nos matan.
No, mames, no, nunca.
No, you're saying. Pero pura locura. I know what you're talking about. And then everybody's speeding right now. There's either a lot of traffic or everybody's fucking speeding. I was riding, at a higher speed.
Yeah.
And a shitty Dodge Caravan de los 80s was passing me. And that thing has no ABS. And that thing has, la pintura is all faded. I'm like, si este tiene una emergencia o cualquier cosa, le cae una llanta.
No, sí.
Like, I'm fucking done. So
no. Si le cae una pinche un Junebug, le va a hacer que se
explota. Se explota.
Explota. Claro, va a explotar.
So
claro.
you got into motorcycles young. Your dad was a rider. He got you in, and then you just never stopped, and you continued.
Correct. I've had some phases where I stopped riding for a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did I? This makes me so happy. This is therapy for me because I'm sure you're familiar with mindfulness.
Yeah.
On the motorcycle is mindfulness. You have to be in there and in the now, because like the guy said on Sunday, you get distracted 1 second, and it's over. It's over. So people might think People that don't ride might think that, no, but you're so stressed and everybody wants to kill you. But no, because if you go into the mindfulness mindset, you are completely there in the moment. You're not thinking about this and that, and when you get distracted, accidents happen. So being mindfulness or being in the mindfulness thingy relaxes you like crazy.
Tell me if you agree with this. This is kind of how I describe it. It's something that if I'm cold, if it's hot, if I'm sleepy, if I'm tired, if I'm angry, sometimes even when I'm walking towards my bike, I have a little fear of like, why am I even getting on the bike? The moment I put my leg over the bike and start it, everything is gone. Like, it's just, I'm so mindful.
It's therapy, yeah.
I'm so mindful that nothing fucking matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's just now it's time to ride, and it's an energy. Vroom. And I'm looking at mirrors, and I'm looking at wheels turning, and I'm looking fucking 3-4 cars down. And I'm looking at La Quina, and I'm looking. It's an energy that even now, you know. And I've had times where I'm like, fuck, man, why am I riding a motorcycle? You know, I'm riding all the fucking times. But as soon as I get on, it's like, vroom. Okay, it's time to like.
I don't feel that hesitation. I won't call it fear. Right. I will call it the realization of, oh shit, this is. I'm riding in 2 wheels, and I'm the body of this vehicle, right?
Yeah, I'm flying.
I'm flying, exactly. But I don't see that as hesitation. I see it just like you, because you said something very important that not many riders do. For example, when you said, "Look at the wheels," people don't do that.
Yeah,
you have to be a very experienced rider and understand what the fuck is going on around you to be also courteous. Like I've told you many times, we went out. I mean, I don't mean to hate on the Livewire group because I love the guys, and Afan is a beautiful friend.
Afan's amazing. Shout out to Afan.
Shout out to Afan, 100%. He's so cool. But we went out, and this guy was not a good rider. He wasn't a good rider. He was all over the place in the turns, wide, close, wide, and then as the turn finished, whoa, full throttle, like just draining the battery. Clumsy. And I'm like, and I was close to him, and the 3 or 4 times that I was like, hey man, I ride better than you. Let me pass you.
Yeah.
I don't want to break the group up. Is it you know, it's like when you move, when someone is splitting lane faster than you, it's okay, go ahead, man. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
They wouldn't let me go, and they wouldn't let me pass. And I'm like, dude, what are you trying to prove? Yeah. What is it you're trying to prove? Okay.
And not only what are you trying to prove, you're holding me as a hostage.
Exactly.
And you're risking
my driving.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like we have to be courteous and understand that some drivers have better skills than others.
Yeah.
And so be it. You want better skill? Go to Rawhide Adventure. I love Rawhide.
Jim
is amazing. He's so cool. I've taken 2 courses there now. The level 1 and level 2 of roading. Fucking love it.
Outstanding.
So cool. So that's when I understood that the GS has other 85% things that the bike can do.
I like how Jim describes it. He says when you get a GS, it feels and looks like an elephant.
Yeah.
But when you finish this course, it's nimble like a mouse.
100%.
You know, and I love 100%.
That. Yeah, 100%. I did it with mine. Thank God I didn't mess it up too bad.
Yeah. Do you still have a GS now?
I have it in Mexico, yes.
Because you have the Ducati.
I have here in LA, I have the Ducati, the R90, and the Livewire.
¿Quieres más café?
No, estoy bien, muchas gracias. Sure. Quiero dormir. Quiero dormir hoy. En México tengo una Fat Boy 2001 or 2000, like the first Harley that I could like pay cash and buy it with a beautiful paint job and very nice. And I sold the RT because I wasn't using the RT. And I still have the GS because that's the same GS I used for Aventura por México. So it has a, valor emocional.
I was watching unos cuantos videos tuyos ahí en YouTube, and los comentarios, I kept seeing like, wow, man, Jaime did this back then. Like he was so ahead of his time. You know, like it's just different. How does that feel? Does it feel like you want to redo those things again, or?
I would love to. Because I love writing, so I would love to. But now I have a family. I have to provide, right? So I will, if the right project comes along and we can work out things with, I don't know, let's say A&E Networks or one of those networks that, or the Travel Channel or something, it will make sense, 100%.
And you know, I do want.
But that's about camaraderie with your buddy.
Of course,
it's not so much about the writing. I mean, it's amazing. I mean,
the experience is amazing. Pero para sufrir con alguien, eso no se puede hacer con cualquier persona tampoco.
I bought the Livewire because I saw Long Way Up.
Right.
I'm like, I want that bike.
Yeah.
So of course, it has to do. But of course, but
Is
we're
that how
bikers.
you got to the bike shed?
No, the bike shed was because of Diego Cardenas.
Yeah.
I went to the live. No, I'm a good friend of Matt Chambers, who started the company Confederate, and now he is the founder CEO of Curtis, the new electric bike that they presented at the Peterson Museum. So I was at that event, and Diego Cardenas was there, and Diego was like, "You should come to the bike shed. You're gonna love it. You're a rider." So I went to the bike shed. I come in and I see Dutch in front. I'm like, "Hey, hi, how are you?" I mean, not knowing anything. Are you involved in this thing at all? Yeah. He was like, yeah. I'm like, good. Somebody told me, yeah, sure. Just put my name on the admission thing, and so that's how I became a member.
The same thing happened to me, but with Vicky.
With Vicky, exactly.
I saw it and I was like, this is kind of cool, Yeah. And then there was this lady, with a scarf. No, she didn't have a scarf. She was just like kind of like tank top. Uh-huh. But her voice was like she's been partying or screaming or drinking all night.
Yeah.
And I go, sweetie, you need some tea and maybe a scarf around your neck.
Yeah.
And she's like, thank you, honey. Uh-huh. And I go, hey, where's membership? And it's like, it's right over there. I go, I hope I get in. She's like, I like you. You're in. And I'm like, all right. And then I was talking to Dan, and Dan's like, yeah, that's Vicky. She owns the spot. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, good for you.
Let's talk about your career. How did you get into acting? How did you get into acting? When did you know you were going to get into acting? And how difficult did your family make it or welcome it?
Yeah, well, my dad was a very successful businessman in Mexico. He had a lot of money, so obviously he wanted me to follow his footsteps. And my mom was a singer from Ipanema, from Rio de Janeiro, who sang with Sergio Mendes and Laudira de Oliveira, who was a percussionist for Chicago, the band. And, it's crazy. So I had it through the umbilical cord. I had the artistic thing through umbilical cord, which is very hard not to follow, right? That calling.
Of course. It's coming out of you.
It's coming out of you. And it was programmed directly to you from your mother's womb. So it's like, yeah of course. But of course, my dad wasn't happy about it. He's like, no, you have to pursue business and whatever. So it was like that. It was a little like struggle with my family and whatever.
But your mom was supportive.
My dad was, well,
your mom was supportive.
Always. Yeah, exactly. She was
like,
supportive. And my dad was like, no, he came around. He was like, okay, cool, do it. But if you want to shine shoes for a living, that's fine. But if I get to the Zócalo of Mexico, where all the shoe shiners are, and they don't tell me, oh, by the way, guy, that Camil guy in the corner, oh, he will, the best, the campeón de los shoe shiners. Like,
if you're not the best of it.
In a way, he was trying to tell me to seek for excellence and not be lazy or this is not like a phase. If you want to do this, then do it committed. And of course, I was committed. I got it through the umbilical cord, so I was more than committed, right?
Right. Before you came into the earth,
100%.
How was acting? Because obviously your life is surrounded by your neighbors, your family, your friends. How was that welcomed in Mexico? Was it difficult or? It
was a little difficult in a sense that Latin American countries they suffer from a big amount of social resentment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right? So if you are successful, it's because you did something wrong, or you whatever, or you were sleeping with that. Exactly, you're cheated. You're sleeping. Your father bought you your career. It's never like
haters,
dude.
Haters.
Bravo, man. Like fucking bravo, no? So of course, because of that, because the
no, la gente se pisa. Like I've always said this in business or anything. Yeah. Especially when it comes to like, I hate saying this, but like in the Latin cultures, la gente se pisa,
But it's a reality, and we have to say it, because if we don't say it, we don't become better.
Yeah.
Or we don't try to be better. If we don't say it, that's the thing. That's another trait of personality. You say it. Oh, you're hating on our people. No, I'm not hating.
No, I'm not hating. I'm just pointing it out.
Pointing out that we have to be better.
That we fucking cheat each other on business. It's something that everybody fucking knows. Y es colombiano contra el cubano contra el mexicano contra el español. Like, it's so fucking dumb. We're all the same fucking people. We can grow, and when we unite, we fucking succeed, and we're so badass at it. Pero increíble que like...
O sea, not everybody.
Not everybody, no.
Pero in a large percent... But that takes us to another realization of life, which is the majority of humans in this earth are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
The majority of humans are always trying to advance, get ahead in the game. It's like, ¿cómo te puedo chingar? How can I con you?
Claro.
How can I get a benefit from this? It's just the nature of... I don't know why just saying this fucking phrase sounds like I want to vomit. It's the nature of human being. No, it shouldn't be the fucking nature of human being.
Yeah.
Right? But there are more like that than good people.
There's a saying that I liked, and it talks about the haters, and they're like, haters will see Jesus Christ walk on water and say, yeah, he's doing that because he doesn't know how to swim.
Totalmente.
Like,
of course.
Yeah, of course he can walk on water. He can't swim.
Claro,
Like, what the
sí.
fuck, you know?
La verdad es que no sabe nadar, el pendejo. Óyeme, güey, dude, come on.
Lo puedes
Applaud the fact that he's fucking walking on water.
Yeah, y se acabó. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Sí, está cabrón. So because of that, I had a lot of course, this guy, because he's rich or he comes from a rich family, he thinks that we have to hand everything to him because every single thing was handed to him in a silver platter. So it's like...
But that's always going to exist. Eso siempre existe.
Yeah, so, you go to an audition, you do a great job, but in Mexico, unfortunately, sometimes the guy that arrived on the subway had more...
charisma.
No. Had the casting director favor them. I arrived in an armored vehicle because it was my reality. Yeah. I had to drive in armored vehicles because my dad was a very successful businessman, and I could have been kidnapped. But why does a guy
kidnappings happen in
exactly?
Mexico.
But why does the guy that arrived on a subway, in the eyes of the casting director, has more validation or a better chance than someone that arrives in a car?
Yeah.
Why? It should be decided by the talent in the audition,
not by how they got them.
Right?
Yeah.
So because of that, people think that it was easier, but I wouldn't say it was easier. The coming from privilege, in my opinion, coming from privilege is that, thank God, I didn't have to work to get a roof over my head and to have food. And that allowed me to just concentrate on my craft.
Right.
And that's the privilege that I come from. Because for some fellow actors out there, it's very difficult. Right. If they don't work, 2 jobs, whatever, it's difficult.
And you were lucky, and your dad
100%.
And your dad built this. This was a plan that your grandfather and your father had built for you, and you were appreciated of it. Yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, I choose this over something else. It's
not your fault.
It's not your fault. Exactly.
Your the reality or your upbringing or how you were lucky or unlucky or whatever to where you were born. It's not your decision.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Why would you hate someone for that? Why would you hate someone for that? Now, if that person is a fucking asshole and thinks that the world revolves around him or her, then nobody likes assholes.
Yeah.
Whether you have money or not, because this has nothing to do with the socio-economic whatever level of education. Right. It has to do with
there's poor assholes and there's rich assholes.
Claro.
There's hay de todo. Yeah. And then in your career, what's been some of your favorite projects? I mean, they all look so so
cool.
Fun. They're so funny.
Schmigadoon we just wrapped season 2. It's now called Schmicago. And it was Schmicago. Yeah. It was nice because I love to be I love to do musical theater. That's what I like to do the most.
Yeah.
So combining musical theater with television, with a series, with sharing the project with amazingly talented performers like Ariana DeBose, Kristen Chenoweth, Jane Krakowski, Cecily Strong, Keegan Michael, Fred Armisen, Alan Cumming, Duff Cameron. I mean, when they told me the list, I'm like, this is your wish list, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is tu carta Santa Claus.
Claro.
And they were like, no, these are all
ya está confirmado.
Confirmed, like, holy mother of the Lord. Shit. Let's do this. And of course, my career is before and after La Fea Más Bella, which is the Mexican version of Ugly Betty.
Right.
That's obviously
And how was it the same network that did Ugly Betty La Fea y Jane the Virgin?
No.
It's completely separate, right?
Completely separate. Betty La Fea was in Mexico, done by Televisa. And Jane
and that did how many seasons?
It doesn't, in Mexico, doesn't go by seasons.
Lleva por años.
It's exactly. Si la novela is successful, they keep going. And if you don't have a story to tell, if Televisa orders the producer to keep going, and the producer goes like, I don't have any more story to I'm not asking you. I'm ordering you. extended 3 more months because the sales of advertising are going great.
Yeah.
So you have to keep going. And it's a company that has stayed behind. They were like the kings of medias in Latin America, and they have kept, they haven't evolved with the new, the new generation of OTTs and technology, whatever. And then Jane the Virgin was a CW, so CBS Television Studios production for the CW. But I think Jane the Virgin was, when we hit Netflix, that's when Jane the Virgin
blew up,
took off. Yeah,
blew up. And how do you like movies versus television?
I don't have a preference.
You don't have a preference.
I have a preference for. I'm a junkie for scripts. I love projects. If the projects are interesting, and they're good, I love them. If I'm privileged enough to be blessed with the gift of having a job, I'm happy, man, because I have to provide for my family. And some actors are...
That's going to be priority.
100%. But of course, there are some projects that you're like, no way. And there are some projects that if they're good and the story is good, then you go for it. And you are an actor, and we have, as actors, I think that you have to mold yourself for whatever the project needs, whether it's film, movie, whichever genre it is, if it's horror, if it's melodramatic, if it's action, if it's suspense, we have to adjust.
Yeah.
Granted, not many actors have. Some actors feel more comfortable in certain genres, and some actors feel comfortable adjusting for whatever the project needs. I consider myself that. I love to work for the project, for the script, for whatever the story needs.
Yeah.
Not for my comfort zone.
Right.
Like I love to do comedy. I love to do rom-coms. I love to be the comic relief on shows or do comedic things. But the other day, Steven Soderbergh invited me to be the main villain of his HBO Max film Kimi alongside Zoe Kravitz, and I loved it. It was amazing. So yeah, I think you have to adjust or mold yourself for whatever the project needs.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you like, you've done a lot of musicals.
Sí.
And it looks like que tienes mucha pasión por la música también. Like you love.
Oh, that's my thing.
You love that. That's your thing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's what I love to do the most. In Mexico, I did.
What did you do with Mambo Kings?
Mambo Kings was the original. Remember the movie?
Of course.
Well,
Antonio Banderas.
I played Antonio Banderas' role in the Bound.
Maria
Exactly. In the Bound for Broadway show, I played Antonio Banderas. It was a beautiful Broadway show produced by Daryl and Jordan Roth. Maybe $11-12 million. It was a big production. Arnie Glimcher, who directed the movie, directed the musical. Sergio Trujillo was a choreographer. It was an amazing. Isai Morales and myself, he played Armanda Santes' role. I played Antonio Banderas' role. And the book needed some work. In my opinion, not drastically.
Yeah.
But it was the first time, I think, not counting Cavemen, that a full Latino show was going to be on Broadway. And I believe the producers were a little bit hesitant about, I don't know. And then In the Heights came along. Of course, it's a brilliant and beautiful project. But
Caso cerrado.
Caso cerrado. It's like, guess what? Broadway was ready for a for a Latino play, right?
That's right.
But yeah, so I did Mambo Kings.
West Side Story.
West Side Story in Mexico City. Aladdin, Hook. Yeah, a bunch of...
Those were all my fucking favorites. Those are things that I grew up with and my favorite.
Crazy.
In the future, are you ever thinking about producing or directing or writing a script? And
I have a first look deal with Paramount Plus, so I'm producing and finding content to do for them, with them, and I love directing. I directed a couple of music videos just to get my foot in the water. And I really feel comfortable directing. I really love it. It comes very natural to me, very natural. Because I've been so many years in front of the camera that to me, directing comes very, very natural. And I want to pursue that. I don't have time.
Yeah,
the time that I would like.
Of course, it's probably like when the timing is right.
Yeah. Thank God I'm working a lot. Thank God I'm a working actor. So I'm always working. Thank God. So for directing a feature or something, you really have to withdraw a year and really go into, it's a
process.
It's a process, yeah.
It's a process. Another thing I wanted to ask you, we were talking this weekend when we had a great ride. You were talking about fucking LA, lovely LA, like beautiful California. And I started thinking about that when I drove, and I was like, fuck, he's really passionate about California, Los Angeles. What was it like when you first came? When did you come to California? And what does it mean to you to be in LA?
Just imagine, it's a dream come true. Sometimes we have to pinch ourselves. My wife and I were like, we live in fucking Los Angeles, man. We live here. Like, this is our home.
Yeah.
These are residents. Like, we live here.
We're not visiting.
No, we're not. We want to go into Disneyland. We don't have to go back. No. We get to stay here.
We have papers.
It's fucking crazy. It's such a blessing. I love this city. It's so beautiful. It has everything.
When did you first dream about Los Angeles? And when?
As an actor in Mexico, you always dream about Hollywood. Obviously, that's right. I mean, no me quitaba el sueño. O sea, I had a very successful and thriving career in Latin America, in Mexico especially. But I was like, wow, that's a mecca of movie making and TV making, and it's Hollywood, right? It's like, but deep down inside, you kind of like have to come to the realization that you might not make it in Hollywood, right?
Like, wait a minute.
It's like, yeah, that's Hollywood.
Kind of competitive.
Exactly. So it was crazy. But I think the universe, these things about don't say it because you will jinx it. Fuck that. Say it because the universe listens. The universe, it listens.
But when you say it to yourself?
No.
To your
Fucking
family,
say it out loud. Fuerte. Sí, I'm going to win an Oscar. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You have to say it because then lo decretas al universo. No, you say it. You put it out there.
Claro.
So I was always thinking about, I think I can do that. I think I can. I have what it takes. I have what it takes to go to that market and do a good job in that market. And yes.
But my question to you would be, you're a fucking superstar.
Puta madre.
En México.
Gracias, Roberto Valderrama.
Hasta tengo.
Let me tell my fans that we'll be.
Bow. Yes, thank you. Relax, guys. Relax. Pero en Mexico, you're a superstar here. The first time we went riding.
On our way.
Yeah. The first time we went riding y estaba los panzones ahí en la bicicleta. Y él dice, toma una foto, pero no me saca las panzas. And then you're like, sí, claro. you're like, watch this, Robert. And you went and you took a picture of them. Uh-huh. You're like, no te preocupas, no, te quite la panza, you know? Uh-huh. And the guy's like, ese es Jaime. Ese es Jaime. Like, fuck. You know, so that happens here. Yeah. But like I'm sure you can get away with a lot more shit in Mexico than you can in America. You know,
como like what?
Like, you know, like VIP status. Enter every restaurant.
But that's also because who my family was.
Right. But right now you can go anywhere in Mexico, even places they don't know your family, and like
100%. I think now the thing that es el hijo de Jaime Camil for many years.
Claro.
It has been Jaime Camil es su papá. It has switched. But
now your dad's using your name.
Pero no, I don't. That's very convenient. But I don't. I like to think of myself as a very well-educated. I was very lucky because my parents did a great job educating me. They never allowed privilege or entitlement to get the best of me. No. I respect so much everybody that earns a living. I never got to a restaurant and treated with the waiter with disrespect.
No, it's not in your character,
dude. It's not. We're equals. We're both humans. We're both earning a living, and that's a thing that I don't really, So it's kind of nice, no? Pero again, if they're like, listen, you have to wait. There's no table. Great.
Okay.
How long is it going to be? 15 minutes. Okay, we can wait 15 minutes. 45. No, we're going to go someplace else. Normal. O sea, no es de que don't you know who I am y la chingada.
Yeah. No lo estoy diciendo por eso. Lo estoy diciendo más por el prestigio de que naturalmente cuando vas a un lugar, it's just there. It's just kind of like, hey, Jaime, come here. There's another door. Come to this side. So I would see that because
now we have to take advantage to the lobster roll, please.
I know. We got to give a shout out to them. Broad Street Oyster House in Malibu. That fucking place. Oh, I've been going there for you see, I sent that message out because I was like, I love this fucking place. I've been going there for 2-3 years. And I was like, only if I had a way to get through this line.
Ya estamos.
Ya está.
Es que we posted it, and I'm like, hi, this is delicious. He, oh, yeah, Jaime, whenever you want, please. And I'm like, dude, I will hit you up because that line can take an hour to get to.
¿Cuántas cosas te ofrecen that you're like, I'll get a hold of you, but you never do? And then there's other things that you're like, I'm
not many. I pursue my things.
Yeah.
I go and try to get my things. Like my family and I will love to travel on RVs. And I'm like, I have to do something with the RV, with an RV brand. I have to, like, I will do so many social media posts and YouTube videos and whatever. And I reached out to companies, and my dear, dear friends from Thor Motor Coach was like, sure, man, let's do a collaboration together. I love it. And I'm like, sure, let's do it, guys. And I flew to Indiana to see their factory, and I already published 3 or 4 YouTube videos of our experience of the first trip. I just love them. But you have to seek your opportunities.
Yeah.
That bullshit about the opportunities are flying and then they land on you, that's a lie. There are a lot of opportunities flying on top of you. Some of them are not even flying because they haven't even taken off. ¿Se dice? Took off, taken.
¿Inventaron?
Ni siquiera han despegado. O sea, hay oportunidades volando por acá, ¿no? Claro. Otros que están a punto de despegar. Y otros que tú tienes que ir a buscarlas. You have to go and seek for them. You have to look for them. They're not going to happen for no reason.
Claro.
And when you jump and you grab that opportunity, you have to nourish it. Y ponerle agüita como una plantita y cuidarla y protegerla y trabajar y ser disciplinado and be disciplined and persevere and boom, 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 boom. You can't expect things to happen out of a miracle or just because they're supposed to. Things haven't happened to me yet.
No me ha pasado ya.
No me han pasado aún. No, es que no te van a pasar, cabrón. Es que tú tienes que hacer que pasen.
Claro.
If you don't make them happen, they're never going to happen. O sea, what do you expect? Like, here.
Que te vayan regalados, claro.
Claro que no. So life, it's a combination of luck, discipline, commitment, hard work, and it's a combination of many factors.
Yeah,
not just one.
I think there was a definition saying luck is when opportunity and preparation. It was when opportunity and preparation meet.
Exactly.
That's what luck is.
Claro, sin duda. Yeah. I would add more. Opportunity, preparation, drive, the desire you have for that thing to materialize or happen, of course. Yeah. It's a combination of many things.
And I'm happy you said that because you told me that on Sunday. And it was such a fucking slap to my face. Like, estúpido, despierta.
No, you know? ¿Qué dije?
But that's what it felt like.
¿Qué dije?
Pero no,
I'm sorry.
No, tenías la razón. No, tampoco lo
¿Pero qué dije?
Me dijiste porque hablé contigo el mes pasado de hacer el podcast.
Sí, es que bueno, I thought Robert didn't want to have me in the podcast. I'm like, dude, I'm okay. My heart is okay.
I just need to know.
Just need to know where we stand.
No. See, but
okay.
the thing was I texted you on the regular line. Are you good on time? Because I know
I'm good. Yes.
Okay. Because I texted you on the regular line and I didn't hear back because this was like mid-August, just on the regular phone line. But we've been communicating through WhatsApp, and then I didn't hear I didn't hear back, and I'm like, fuck, tampoco lo quiero molestar, like this, that. I was like,
you're very thoughtful. But sometimes we don't read it. Sometimes it happens that we're in the middle of something.
And I get that, and when you said it, it made me self-reflect of how many times I let that happen. Where I reached out to a friend of mine or I reached out to somebody. I don't like asking for favors. No. I'm very hesitant.
But also people need to be courteous.
Right.
Just send a yes or send a no.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do the decent thing, which is...
I should have just wrote, que cagado, sí o sí.
Exacto. Kindly following up. Kindly following up. I would love to... something, right?
Yeah.
And after 2 or 3 texts, they don't reply, then fuck it, right? It's not going to happen.
Yeah, yo soy muy exagerado de una forma that's like, I'll do whatever's natural. And then if it's a little unnatural, I'll be like, tampoco quiero ser un jodón.
Claro.
But I should be jodón.
Un poquito.
Just
a little bit.
Respectfully, right?
Yeah, claro.
Respectfully.
Es que ser un jodón, es que if you do it with education and with manners, no eres un jodón. You're just gently following up on the invitation. And then the other person should have the decent amount of education to say, no, thank you, or yes, thank you.
No. Yeah, of course. They should have the decency of responding properly.
Claro, exacto.
And that's fucking that's a good way. And then the RVs, what are you working with them? Are you think you're gonna do a program or
No, I'm actually just I use it
because I've been
my
looking, I've
family
been
and
looking
I.
at the Sprinters and the Sprinters are the Mercedes.
Yeah, those are called the, oh my god, they have the categories like Class C. I believe it's a Class C camper vans.
Camper vans.
The camper vans. Thor has the best. It's called the oh my god, what's the words of them? The models, the Sprinter. They're great. They're super fun. Ours is a Vegas 27 foot. ¿Qué es? Plural ¿qué es?
Yeah.
Plural es foot o feet?
What feet?
Feet. 27 feet.
27 foot, yeah.
Es un 27 foot
Footer, yeah.
Class A, but it was built on a Class C chassis, which is the Class A is the one, los que parecen como public buses, right?
Right.
And the Class C is the one that you have the cockpit of the Ford or the Sprinter, and then you have the bed Arriba, right?
Yeah.
So this one, the Vegas, is beautiful because it's super maneuverable because it's built on a Class C chassis, but it has a Class A build, so it's super spacious inside.
So una pregunta, el Class C, Class A, ¿eso depende de la licencia?
No, es el tipo del motorhome. El Class A
estilo,
es el que es grandotote, que parece un passenger bus. El Class C es el que te digo, que el cockpit como que si tú pones arriba la casa.
Claro.
Y el Class B are the camper vans.
¿Y el que tienes conecta? No, it's an RV.
It's an RV.
It's an RV, se conecta a una camioneta.
I sometimes hook up the Bronco and I take the Bronco with me because
I saw the Bronco, yeah.
Yeah, because when you set camp, you don't have mobility.
Yeah.
So you arrive to Joshua Tree, for example, and you set camp and you're like, oh, 2 miles away you can go and check out Skull Rock.
Right.
And you're like, oh shit, it's 100 degrees. Should we bicycle there and get heat stroke? Or should we just... So you do need a car when you have a Class A. The beauty of the Airstreams, for example, is that you set up camp on the Airstream and you unhook it from your truck, and then you have mobility. You can go and check all the tourist attractions of the area. On a Class A, you can't do that unless you have a vehicle, towing a vehicle.
Yeah, this is how invested I am right now.
Sí, me encanta. You're manifesting into the universe. This is the Sprinter.
Yeah, that's the Sprint. That's the Mercedes Sprinter.
It's a Sprinter. See, well, Thor has great ones.
Yeah, Thor does their whole
great
builds.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Para el año que viene, I think I want to do the Ride Boundless podcast on a ride.
Oh, nice.
Boundless.
Pero that I can hook you up with Thor because they have, the marketing team really wants to do innovate things and do good things and
yeah, because I want to do a 3 to 4 month trip.
Yeah, they have loaners. They can lend you one.
Yeah,
100%.
Oh, let's fucking set that up because literally, it's called the Ride Boundless Show.
Claro, exactly.
Por motos and RVs y esas cosas.
Of course.
So that'd be fucking amazing.
100%.
Coño, we got the acting, we got the motorcycles. I guess quickly, dime, what are you thinking?
No, estoy pensando de las motos también. Hablamos de las motos, de los tipos de moto que we like to ride. What is the one that you like to ride the most? Or they all have their own charm?
Mire, para el momento me está encantando mucho el BMW.
Sí.
Especialmente en Los Ángeles. Porque para mí, Los Ángeles, I love LA.
Yeah.
Pero there's hills, there's mountains,
claro.
There's shitty roads, there's bumpy roads. And I think a mid-size SUV, like, the 5 Series or the AMG Mercedes, or the Lamborghini, I think those are perfect LA cars. And I think the GS, because of the roads and the traffic and everything, it's the perfect bike. I go, I hate saying this, but I go on sidewalks, I go through dirt, I cut through the hills.
No, we don't.
Yes, I do. No, not me. Just
I've seen assholes do that.
pero it's like if the end of the world was going to happen and we had to escape LA, it would be on my fucking GS, man.
Claro, of course. Have you ridden the KTM?
I haven't gotten to the KTM. Which
tried it. It's fun.
Fucking amazing.
I own it for 8 months. I own one for 8 months when I live in Argentina.
The Duke or which one?
No, the big one. The
big one?
What would be the GS?
I forgot their model.
Adventure?
I'm not sure what the KTM's.
I don't remember, but it was whatever the GS.
Big, yeah.
So whatever the GS represents for BMW, I had the KTM version.
Here, let me look it up while you tell me about it.
And it was nice. It's a little more. Es como que es way more. Es como que está más encabronada. It's always like like you have to always tame it. It's like a bull that you need to tame.
Yeah.
And
it's super powerful.
Yeah. But it's
the KTM 1290?
The 1290.
Super Adventure?
I think so. Yeah, the Super Adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah, I haven't checked that out, but that caliber of motorcycle, like the other one I want to try out is Ducati Hyper Mozart.
How about the Desert? I'm dying to try that one.
That one's a fucking another fascinating one.
It's so old school.
Yeah,
like the body and everything. It looks like the Paris Dakar, like 80s, 90s motorcycles they used to ride on the Paris Dakar rally. Está impresionante.
No, es que la cosa es, hay tantas motos ahorita que me encanta.
Sí, carajo.
And this is why I started getting into like the rentals. I started to rent because I have 3 bikes. And I'm like, I'm not riding on these bikes all the time. So just like about a month ago, maybe 2 months, I started renting the bikes out. And it kind of hurts, like, oh. But then I'm like, hey, it's a business. And now I'm thinking I can buy a 4th bike and a 5th bike because it's a business. Yeah. You know, so I think I'm going to start.
Are you renting with Eagle, whatever, with that company or with
Eagle Riders and Rider Share?
Oh, okay.
Eagle Riders, Rider Share. Eagle Riders, you make more money.
Oh, okay.
But you don't get that many bookings. Eagle Rider Share, like the BMW's booked out all of September.
Oh, wow.
Like I don't think I'm going to see my bike except for like when it comes in. When it gets dropped off and it gets picked up for somebody else.
You do it here from your residence or in a place?
No, residence.
Oh,
well, you could do it wherever you want, but residence. Claro. Yeah, pero estaba pensando.
But how is that process of you knowing how good of a rider they are? It's just a gamble?
Look,
hopefully the guy won't fall?
It's kind of a gamble.
Oh, shit.
It's kind of a gamble, but here's the deal. They do run the background on the driver's license. So far, every single person that I met is over 40 and very, very kind and generous and professional. Like right now, I had somebody pick up a bike yesterday, pick up the BMW, and they were from Montreal. Oh. And here's the thing.
That doesn't count because all Canadians are polite.
Yeah. Pero
give me someone from Nicaragua that has, give me someone from Mexico.
Everybody's been, ahora tuve un tipo de Chile. Buena gente.
También super educados, doesn't count.
No cuenta.
You're saying countries that are super well educated.
El mexicano, bueno, el punto mío es... No es barato.
It's not barato, claro.
It's not cheap. And if you're going to spend $200 a day or $150 a day, you're going to have money. And if you have money, you have education. If you have education, you're going to respect the bike. To rent the bike.
Okay.
You know, porque...
Sometimes money doesn't go hand in hand with education, unfortunately. Actually, sometimes 100%. It goes... Actually, it's even worse because new money, untitled pricks that have money, they think that they are above or better than anyone else.
Claro. Pero mira, interesante porque si te digo la gente que está rentando el Harley, eso es una clase de gente que está rentando el Harley.
Claro.
Y la gente que está rentando el GS, it's
like, sí. It's a different crowd.
It's a different crowd.
It's a different crowd.
So if I was going to recommend anything, I would say getting a GS or a KTM or any of those caliber bikes, leave it stock. And if you don't mind renting it out, you're going to get a good crowd. Like it's not that big of a gamble.
Yeah.
But if you start getting into customized motorcycles or like for example, I wouldn't do the Ducati. You know, obviously that's like, it's too personalized and custom. Claro. The Harley for me is really hard. Like I'm like, fuck, I put everything into this. So,
claro, of course.
But again, if I can buy 6, 7, 8 bikes and just, you know, and they're just paying for themselves and
sí, claro.
You know, and I can ride whatever I want whenever it's available. And that's what's got me riding.
And how about insurance? You do pay, but the insurance must be very high, no?
No, they cover the insurance.
They cover the insurance. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So they'll rent the bike, for example. They'll rent the bike for like $140 per day. But they have to spend another $30-$40 per day for full coverage insurance. So which they cover. So they're paying $200.
Oh, okay.
They're really paying $200 a day to ride your bike. So it's not
cheap.
No es como mierda que renta un carro por $20, claro. $40 que like fucking gears and parts and hits the bumps and so it's not that.
No, if you rent a bike, you know you are. I mean, let's assume you know how to drive
and
it.
Same
right?
thing. When you see the people, you can always call it off. You know,
claro.
and there's nobody I've seen where I'm like, fuck this guy. You know. So,
like the first question. How is it on wheelies? No, thank you.
I had the owners of Eagle Riders on the podcast, and they told me the story of when they started. And they said when they had 4 brand new bikes, went to a bar, and when they were hanging out at the bar, you know, some German gentlemen were like, nice Harley Davidsons, you know, this, that. And after a conversation, they're like, hey, by any chance, could could we rent them? We it's a dream to ride a Harley in America. And out of the 4 guys, I think 3 said no. And the business guy, Jeff, one of the partners, he was like, guys, this is a business opportunity. Let's give it a try. And they gave it a try. And he goes, they rented it for 3 days. When they returned the bike, you're expecting the worst.
Yeah, of course.
They brought the bikes cleaner, fully gassed. Happy, smiling, showed the pictures. This was the greatest experience we've ever had.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Now, Eagle Riders is the LA location has about, 15,000 motorcycles.
Motherfucker, 15,000?
Well, one warehouse has over 7 or 8,000.
I'm sure they have the KTM. You should ask.
Oh, they have everything.
They
have everything. Yeah.
So you
Well, that's right.
That's how you test bikes.
You're familiar with Eagle Riders.
No, really, not at all. I didn't know they existed, but I know that they. What I'm saying is that whenever you want to buy a bike, you can just rent it for 2 days.
Yeah.
And because again, when you go to dealerships, you can have it. You want to do a 15-minute test drive? No. The 15-minute test drive does nothing for my decision-making process. No.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I told you, it took me almost a year before I started really liking the Live Wire. Now I love the Live Wire. Got it. But the Eagle Riders, they have every bike you could think of.
Oh, cool.
They have the everything. Harleys, Indians.
The Triumphs, all of them.
Triumphs, everything.
Nice. That's so cool.
Dale, chico. I know you're tight on time.
Me tengo que ir por mis hijos. I have to go and pick up my kids from school.
Yeah, mine's coming out a little bit later. I appreciate you doing this.
Claro, Robert. Of course, man. Anytime.
Hopefully we do this again just to talk some bullshit.
100%. Ay, Vicente Fernández, man. I forgot about Vicente Fernández.
Mano, eso fue lo más grande.
Vicente Fernández, September 14th, 14 de septiembre on Netflix. I had the privilege, the honor, and the absolute pleasure of portraying Vicente Fernández.
One of the biggest legends in Mexico.
Crazy,
worldwide, not even
worldwide.
in Mexico, worldwide.
Música ranchera worldwide. He single-handedly, he put the música ranchera en el mundo.
En el mundo, yo sé.
Yeah, crazy.
Oye, lo último.
Sí, claro.
Obvio, te da un orgullo para hacer esto,
sí, claro.
Porque es lo más grande que existe. Pero lo vi interesante, because típicamente, like we were talking about Zorro, and how Antonio Banderas played Zorro, y era un español y no era mexicano.
Claro. When you think there are a lot of imitators and parodies of Vicente Fernández, right?
Like the Mambo Kings weren't Cubans, or like
exactly
they could have done Cubans.
Son como caricaturas, no? When you think about someone doing Vicente Fernández, you think of the show La Parodia or an imitator, or ya sabes lo que sea. So we had to make the character human and relatable and connect emotionally with the audience. So you do an artistic interpretation, and desde Vicente Fernández, o tomando a Vicente Fernández como la salida, then you do your character. You develop, you create a character.
Porque, you build it up, yeah.
And you build it up, and it's an artistic interpretation of based on his personality traits, his fears, his success, the bad decision making, the good decision making, the journey. Based on all your research, your unlimited amount of research that you do as an actor, you create a character from him. The starting point is him.
Right.
The goal is not to do him, or is not to copy or do a caricature
or replicate.
For that, you have a ton of comedians doing that out there, and hey, and doing like Vicente. That we're not doing that.
Yeah,
we're doing a heartfelt, real character that has heart and has soul and has struggles and. So as an actor, that is real, exactly. As an actor, that's the goal. The goal is to maybe. He did certain things and whatever, but those are just the frosting of the cake. The mix of the cake is way
There's
deeper.
Layers. There's
exactly,
layers.
Exactly.
And you start unpeeling the layers.
Exactly.
And then real quick, is it a movie or show?
It's a series. It's a Netflix series, 36 episodes.
Wow.
And Netflix Latin America, because in Latin America we have the patience of a fucking butterfly. They don't do seasons. They just drop 36 episodes for you to binge watch whenever you want. On September 14th, they're gonna just drop the 36 episodes of Vicente Fernández.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Thank
Gracias,
you.
Robert. Thank you, brother.
Gracias, hermano.
Bye. Yes.